What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's had a great Saturday. Don't forget tomorrow's Father's Day. Don't forget us dads. Seriously, don't forget us dads. I know that mom, everybody takes care of mom, but everybody forgets about dad. But it's okay. Well, it is what it is. I'm sitting here because I'm arguing with idiots out there. And I'm sitting here because I've got all these people that are saying to me, well, Trevor Lawrence, that guy deserves getting paid. Deserves getting paid. Not like that garbage ass quarterback, Dak Prescott. I'm going to ask, this is a real question. Real question here, okay? Real question. Dak Prescott last year had 36 TDs, right? 36 TDs and 9 interceptions, right? Could you imagine what they would say if Trevor Lawrence had those numbers last year? Seriously. Can you imagine what they would say if Jalen Hurts had those numbers last year? Because understand, Jalen Hurts had 23 TDs and 15 interceptions. Could you imagine if he had 36? I know that people will say, yeah, well, that's because you played a bunch of garbage teams. Well, the last 12 games of the season, 6 of them were playoff teams. They played 7 playoff teams, 7 games against playoff teams last year, which is more than a lot of teams actually did. But be that as it may, let's put 36 TDs into perspective. Do you know how many quarterbacks in the history of the NFL have thrown 36 or more touchdown passes? Would you believe 21? 21, including Dak Prescott and Tony Romo. Now, some of them, Tom Brady's thrown multiple ones. Drew Brees has thrown multiple ones. Peyton Manning's thrown multiple ones. I think Matthew Stafford has 2 of those. But collectively, total number of quarterbacks that have thrown 36 TDs. I get what you're saying right now. I know what you're going to say is, yeah, well, you can't really look at that number because you think about the early days of the NFL. They don't throw the football the way they have the last 20. And I'll give you that. I will give you that. But here's an interesting thing. Would you believe that the Chicago Bears have never in their franchise history had a 4,000-yard passer or a quarterback that's thrown 30 TDs? Never? I know what you're going to say. That's the Bears. Who cares about the Bears? They were known as the monsters of the Midway anyway. It's all about the D. Okay, I hear you. But let me get you another one here. Let's look at our own division. Do you know that the New York Giants have one quarterback who ever threw for 36 TDs? I know what you're going to say. Well, of course, it's the modern era. Eli Manning. No. Y.A. Tittle. And I want to say 1963. The list of quarterbacks in the NFC East that have thrown for 36 TD or more: Y.A. Tittle, Dak Prescott, and Tony Romo. Okay. The Commanders, aka the football team, aka the Redskins. Do you know what their career touchdown record TD passes in a season? 33. It's not one of the modern guys. Sonny Jurgensen. Sonny Jurgensen with 33. I want to say it was 1968. Wait a minute. You mean these old guys back from when before I was born and when I was only a couple years old, that they threw the record number of TD passes for their teams? Yeah. The Eagles, mind you, are bringing up the rear. The most TD passes that they've had in a single season was Carson Wentz with 32. Now, if you don't believe me, look it up. Look it up. Mind you, here's something that's even funnier. Because Dak Prescott threw 36 this past year, but 2 years before, he threw 37. Yeah. Which knocks off Y.A. Tittle, knocks off Tony Romo. In fact, there's only been in the history of the NFL, all of the history of the NFL, 15 guys. 15 guys in all of the teams that have played for well over 100 years that have thrown for 37 or more TDs. And that's the truth, Ruth. And you can say, well, the Cowboys, they're playing nobodies. Mind you, a couple of things with Dak Prescott on this past season. And it's true. First, the first 5 games, Dak only had 5 TD passes. The last 12, he averaged 2.5 TD passes a game because our offense wasn't quite together and our defense was basically taking up the slack. Our defense was scoring like crazy. Second thing, do you know how many games Dak Prescott didn't finish last year? That he got out in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, where he could have been in for garbage time and getting more TDs, but instead they pulled him out. I get it. Some of y'all will say that those touchdown passes don't count because they were against bad teams. Well, if you're going to say that, then you can't say that Matthew Stafford was one of the fastest guys to 50,000 yards because his team was always behind, which meant they were always passing. And you could look and say, that was garbage time yardage. You know what I mean? So, there you have it, good people. Feel free, trolls. Feel free to tell me I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. Dak Prescott sucks. He won't be back. The Cowboys aren't going to re-sign him. That's your boyfriend. Mark Holmes has a tattoo of Dak Prescott on his ass and all the other stupid ass comments that you guys make. Reality is I'm right. I'm right. Have a good Saturday evening, friends. I am going to go spend some time with my wife. And fish are fed. And I'm done for the day. Peace.